Hi YouTubers, this is Simply Monica, just with a little bit of randomness more or less. I want to talk about kids and what us parents won't do for our children. Now, I decided to take my son fishing. He always wants to go fishing, so I'm like, let's go fishing in our local park. So fine. So we went to a catch and release type deal, but if you catch it, you release it, you can't take it home, you can't cook it, you can't do any of those things. Fine. So I said, well, that's simple enough. You have the experience of fishing, but it's not all the get out on the boat and all that. Sit out on the boat all day in water. You're getting seasick. You're eating on the boat and all that stuff. So I'm like, well, let's do that. I don't like fishing at all. I hate fishing. I don't like the sea. I don't like the seaweed, sea water. You have to be out there all day waiting for something, and then what do you do with it when you get it? So, fine. We got poles and everything. It was free, so we got poles, and the lady told us how to unhook the fish when we catch something, or if we catch something. So fine. So take it out of take it out of the mouth and everything, and you're good to go. So fine. So so we, took that, and then she said, if you see this kind of turtle, don't touch it because it'll bite you. I'm like, okay. Then she said, if you see this kind of turtle, you can touch it and take it off the hook, but if you need help, call somebody. Okay. Then she said you can go to any side of the pond you want to. That pond is huge. I don't know why they even call it a pond. It's called a lake or something, stream, river, whatever. And it's huge. So I'm just like, if I need help and I'm way off of yonder, who gonna help me? Anyway, so prior to that, I saw this lady getting something. That she's had gloves on and bags and whatever have you. So when the lady finished telling us how to catch successfully and so forth. I said, let me get some gloves. And she's like, you need gloves? I said, I need gloves, yes. Because if I have to touch anything, it is going to be with some gloves. And make sure they are nice and thick and, they're sturdy. So, fine. So we go out to this lake and everything. And they gave us corn to put on the hook. I guess fish loves corn. I don't know. So that's better than the last one. The last one we was gonna do, we ended up getting there late. But the last one we was gonna do, they had worms in dirt. If I want gloves to touch a fish or even the fishing pole, because not even guaranteed that I'm gonna get anything. If I need gloves to touch the pole and the corn, you think I'm gonna be touching worms? No, and no. So we had corn, and I put the corn on the hook and stuff like that, threw the hook in and everything. So we standing there like, do. Now, these are generic poles. They're not the real rod and reel type thing that you can, reel the thing back and all that stuff. I mean, it just like has a small line and a little hook on it. There you go. Put the corn on the end. Once I threw it in, I lifted it up. It had a whole bunch of seaweed on it. And that's because everything that's close to the bank is seaweed. It's rocks and, dirt and trash or whatever have you. That's there. So there's nothing special that's right there. So, so of course, but the line is not long enough for it to go any further into the water. So you're bound to catch seaweed. Fine. So we standing out there. Mind you, it's warm. It's getting muggy because it's going to rain soon and stuff like that. So the bugs are all over the place. My son is freaking out from the bugs. He's jumping around and everything. And I'm like, you gotta stay still so the fish can come up to your line. He catches seaweed, I'm catching seaweed and everything. And all of a sudden we hear this big crack in the sky. Boom! We all look around. My son said, time to go. I said, okay, time to go too, because at that time I was bored and we wasn't catching anything anyway. And of course, this is a lake, so all the fish is in the real fish. They had bass and some other type of fish or whatever. They had like 5 or 6 different type of actual fish. But they were, I'm sure, were in the middle. Fish don't come up to the banks. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got, chicken dinner or something like that for them. But they don't come to the banks. They stay in the middle where there's other fish and stuff to eat and, that type of thing. So, and because they know, fish are kind of smart, they know that humans are on the side trying to trap them. So, they're going to stay where they are. Turtles were coming up to the bank a little bit, but they know as well. They just want to eat the food, and they just nosy. That's all. They just stick their head up and looking around, and, that was it. But, so it was, nothing happening anyway. So I'm just like, when he said, let's go, I'm like, you ain't saying nothing but a word, because I was through. So he was like, oh, well, we can go to, go on the boat and go out, into the water and really, fish, because that's the only time you really catch something is when you're in the middle of the water, whether it's a big, big boat or a canoe or whatever have you. That's the only time you really catch something is when you're in the water, because you're in the middle of the water, because then the fish are, in that area, to be able to catch something. So I said, yeah, I said, but we need to get one of them boats where they cut the fish up, they scale it, and all that stuff for you, because I'm not touching it. Not touching it. Nope, 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 not doing it. So, yeah, but that was my adventure with fishing for today. And don't you know, right when we left, it started pouring. So it's a good thing we got out of there. But, so yeah, what we do for our children. It was funky. Ooh, it was funky and nasty and dirt. Ooh, the bugs. Ooh. What we do for our children. Anyway, it's a little randomness about kids, but I will talk to you later.